What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So not that long ago, the Memphis Grizzlies fired Taylor Jenkins with like 13 games left in the season, and now the Nuggets have one-upped them by firing Michael Malone with 5 games left in the season, and their GM as well, Calvin Booth. This obviously comes to a surprise to a lot of people, including myself. A little shocked by this, so let's go ahead and jump in, dive in, and talk about why this may have happened, and let's do a video on it. So let's jump in and do this Nuggets rebuild after they have fired Mike Malone. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 56% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subs. So if you do fall in that 56%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs, that would be greatly appreciated. So right now they are on a 4-game losing skid, and obviously they had the heartbreaking loss against Memphis the other night, which was just devastating to watch down the stretch. It was a crazy game though. But yeah, they're the 4th seed, 47-32. So it makes you scratch your head a little bit when a coach who just won you a championship not that long ago gets fired when you're the 4th seed in the West. It's very confusing, obviously. I have a couple reasons why I mean, not really. Okay, I'll say this. So obviously, apparently, their GM and Mike Malone have a little bit of drift between them, and I guess they were tired of that. That's what the reason is right now that was listed. But usually I would feel like you'd probably choose one side or the other. They're just like, nope, we don't want either of you. You can just all go. The one thing I do wonder, though, is I wonder if firing Mike Malone is like, do they like David Adelman maybe so much that they don't want to see him go anywhere else? Because that's obviously, as soon as Michael Malone was fired, I knew immediately David Adelman would be the one promoted, obviously. He's been interviewing for head coaching jobs. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. It probably doesn't, more than likely. But whatever, David Adelman obviously took over, and now he's a new head coach. So every scout or every team must have a full front office team scout. Let's see. I ran into this earlier, and I actually had no idea how to fix it. Okay, I fixed it. Okay, so let's take a look. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Russell Westbrook, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, and DeAndre Jordan. So let's go ahead and simulate the rest of year one. We'll see how the team... Actually, I don't even need to... Let's just simulate these games. I don't even know why I was about to be like, all right, I'll see you in the playoffs. But no, we're literally here. So, 49-33 to end off the season. Here are your awards. So, Dyson Daniels wins Defensive Player. Most Improved goes to Christian Brown, which is interesting. And then Nikola Jokic, a Clutch Player. I do think there could be some interesting moves that happen for Denver this offseason, especially now that Mike Malone was fired. Like, anything is possible now. And it's crazy because a coach getting fired with 4 games left in the season isn't even the craziest thing that's happened this season, which is wild to think about. But look, we get to play Minnesota. So that would be, I think, everybody's dream. Maybe not as, if you're a Timberwolves fan and you're a Nuggets fan, you probably don't want to see each other. But I think fans of other teams would be like, yes, sign me up for a Denver, Minnesota playoff series, because that sounds like a ton of fun. These two teams, their battles lately have been insane. So I would love to see more of that. So we do get it here. So we get to play the Timberwolves, which obviously both teams very good. So we'll see how this goes. I will say, usually the advantage does go to Minnesota in the 2K sim. I've noticed Minnesota sometimes wins, year one wins a championship. So somebody occur around against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we do win game 1. It is a 3-2 series so far. So let's slow this down and go to a simcast of game 6 and see if we can't force a game 7 like it probably would go in real life if this did happen. It looks like we might get, we'd have to take it at the end, and we force overtime, but we don't take it. We lose by 1. Jokic, which this was pretty similar to what happened the other night on, I believe, TNT. He had a 60-point triple-double, and they still lost. Obviously, no offense against Russell Westbrook, but he did have 2 terrible plays at the end of the game that really costed them. But the Timberwolves beat us here in 6. Well, we got ourselves an interesting offseason ahead of us, because if the Nuggets were to get eliminated in round 1, the Clippers of all teams made it to the finals too. Shout out to the Clippers, finally lifting that Clippers curse. But if this did happen, they get eliminated in round 1, I do think everything would more than likely be on the table for Denver. I did notice the last time I did a Nuggets rebuild, I traded for Trae Young, so we'll stay far away from that and do something different today. So the Wizards get 1. Philadelphia keeps their pick at number 2. Charlotte at number 3. Do we have a pick in this draft? No, the Orlando Magic hold our draft pick, probably from the Aaron Gordon trade. So I'm going to leave David Adelman, like I said, just for now, because obviously, like I said, he's been a hot candidate for head coaching vacancies, just hasn't landed one just yet. But in due time, I think it would come. So maybe that's why Denver didn't want to lose him. I don't know. Maybe they like him that much. Okay, so obviously, as far as draft equity, we don't really have that at all. So that's not something we'll be looking into. We don't have a draft pick either. So let's just skip past the draft, because that's going to be So Russell Westbrook declines. Sarge does accept. Brown, Watson, and Julian Schroeder, of course, those to me are all guys we need to accept. These guys are all, free agents. And then for free agency, we have Russell Westbrook, who wants $35 million. I don't think there's a single chance anybody's giving him $35 million. I won't be either. I'm sorry if you like Russell Westbrook, which I do too, but I'm not giving him $35 million. That's insane. So he's not getting that much money from me. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Julian Schroeder. So what tough decisions is there to be made? So first and foremost, are we over the second apron? It does look like that is the case, but I do wonder if there's some cap holds maybe holding us back there potentially. There may not be, but let me double check. So let's renounce all of these cap holds really quickly. See where that gets us. We still might have to make a trade to get us under the second apron, potentially, to have the freedom to do whatever we want. So let's go to the salary cap breakdown. No, that didn't make any difference. Okay, so I think obviously Michael Porter would probably be a guy that would be moved to get under the second apron. You could talk me into Jamal Murray as well, potentially being traded. So I think these two guys, one of them will be moved right now as far as whatever. I guess it just kind of depends what I get. We're not trading Jokic. That's out of the window. That's not happening. Gordon, I like his fit next to Jokic. And obviously, this team has won a championship before, so it sucks to tear it down. But at the end of the day, we have to make tough decisions. After getting eliminated in round one, tough decisions have to be made when you have the expectations of trying to win a championship and you have the best player in the world. So let's go see what makes more sense, trading Murray or Michael Porter, depending on the offers we like. So I think I kind of have an idea of where I want to send Michael Porter Jr. to and what I want to get in return for him. So I'm going to try to talk to the Charlotte Hornets about an idea of getting Mark Williams to be our backup five. Obviously, they tried to trade him at the deadline. It failed. The Lakers, rescinded the trade or whatever. So Mark Williams would definitely be available. But I do wonder if we can somehow maybe get like a Miles Bridges off of them as well, who's only 27 years old. Could be an interesting addition here. I don't really know what that would do for our lineup, but it would be an interesting player to bring in. He's only has 2 years left in his deal, but this would still save us a ton of money. I do believe this would get us, actually it may not get us under the second apron technically, but we could also just do this where we just bring in Mark Williams and don't even have to worry about Miles Bridges. But I'm just trying to think of if there's, any player we'd want instead. So, or if there's any other player. So if we bring in Nick Smith, but we have Brown and Strother right now. I mean, we could technically move Strother to the 3 and have something going on there. So I kind of like the idea of seeing if we get Nick Smith off of them too. So let's see. Let's go Mark Williams and Nick Smith for Michael Porter Jr. The Charlotte Hornets can just absorb Porter's contract, it looks like. So I'm going to see if they're down for this. Let's offer this straight up. They say no. Okay. I can't aggregate salaries right now, so the only thing I can offer is my 2026 first. And let's see what they say. So Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson. As much as I would love to, again, we can't aggregate salaries at the moment. So Michael Porter for Mark Williams. They want an unprotected first. So we just basically be swapping picks. So I guess in this scenario, we're getting a legit backup 5 for Jokic that we can trust when Jokic is off the floor, which is what I wanted to do. So that is what the Nuggets have been wanting for a while now. Plumlee was okay when they had him for a little bit there, but we trade our unprotected, which we're going to be good next year, so that doesn't really matter. We get Mark Williams, they get Michael Porter Jr., we get under the second apron. To me, it's a win-win. So let's go, we'll do that. So just like that, first trade is made, and now that makes things a little bit more well-rounded for us. We're under the second apron, and we have the ability to aggregate contracts now, I believe, which is what we wanted. So boom. Now we can throw like a Dario Saric and a Julian or Zeke Naji together and do something else. So I like that, and I thought that was very necessary to make something happen. As far as free agency is concerned, we don't have like a lot of money to go for, but do we have like a Bryce Sensabaugh just sitting out here? So yeah, sign me up for that. I don't know why lately in 2K, like these young players have just been getting cut for some reason. I don't get it. So it's been a blessing though. If guys are going to get cut, you can take advantage of the small contracts. Yeah, absolutely do it. So, and then as far as like, so shooting guard rotation's fine. Once we bring in Sensabaugh, our 3 rotation will be fine too. And then we could maybe justify our power forward position with something else, but we could bring in Champagny. But I'm just going to sign Sensabaugh. So Sensabaugh is going to be brought in. I'm going to renounce this trade exception because I don't plan on using it. So we're going to get Sensabaugh as our main addition of free agency. We also could bring a familiar face in Monte Morris back to the team, just as the veteran presence. And then now let's go make another trade. So I want to use Zeke Naji's salary, and we were able to accomplish that by getting under the second apron, so we can use his contract now. I want to bring in a different power forward, basically, because Mark Williams, obviously, he is only on a 1-year deal, so we'll have to pay him after this season. So I'll have to see how much he wants. So we may not be able to pay him, which sucks. But again, we needed to dump Porter's contract. So Jamal Murray's going to stay for another season too. But let's go ahead and see what we can get for Zeke Naji, or we throw Zeke Naji and Dario Saric, maybe even like a Hunter Tyson, and see if we can't bring in like legit backup 4 or something. So I think I'm going to go after Harrison Barnesby, our brand new backup power forward going into the season. I don't know if the Spurs would just give him up for this, but Zeke Naji, Saric, and Jalen Pickett. So we have a couple of young players being thrown at the Spurs. I mean, Harrison Barnes is literally just an expiring contract, so, and they could take a flyer on Zeke Naji as well. So let's go ahead and make this trade, and that will be our offseason. So just like that, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Strother, Peyton Watson, Sensabaugh, Aaron Gordon, Barnes, and obviously the main attraction was Mark Williams by getting under the second apron, dumping Porter's contract off. Go to player progression. So you have Jokic and Murray regressing down 1, Harrison Barnes down 2, which I did expect. Sensabaugh, Strother, and Peyton Watson all up, which is great to see. We want that. Christian Brown. But this is going to be a still very good Nuggets team. Obviously, that still is going to be the case. That's not going to go away. But at least we have, I guess we have freedom to do whatever we want, because Barnes' contract is going to be expiring contract. And then if we fail this year, then we can make another tough decision by trading Jamal Murray, maybe even Aaron Gordon or something like that. But the goal is obviously keep Jokic here, get him another championship, and that's what we strive to do here. So 3.5 balance under David Adelman. He is also on thin ice here because I do recognize his ratings in 2K aren't great. As much as he is a hot commodity in real life, I can't pretend that his ratings are great in 2K. But we're going to base it off how the season goes before we make any decisions. So let's go ahead and simulate the season as is. Proficiency is 3.5. If I do stop at the deadline, I will show you, but I'm hoping that the season goes well. If it doesn't, then we definitely have to make some more tough decisions, but this should at least be a playoff team with Jokic, and so far, may not be. Hopefully 2K turns this around because Jokic is not missing the playoffs, man. Come on. So at the end of the season, Nikola Jokic actually wins MVP, averaging 28, 13, and 10. 55, 79, and 44% are their shooting splits. Cooper Flag, Rookie of the Year in Washington. Josh Giddey, 6-man in New Orleans. Mobley, Defensive Player. Connect, Most Improved. And Zion, your Clutch Player. And Kids, your Coach, the Inner Executive, goes to Jordan Hobson. Here's All-NBA first team with Nikola Jokic making it to that. And All-NBA second team and All-NBA third team. All defensive first team. We actually got Jamal Murray making it on here too, so that's awesome. I just recognized that. Barely, I almost glossed right over that, but very good for us. 27 points per game, so love that. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. Jokic makes that. All rookie first team and all rookie second team. So we are the 6th seed in the West, and once again, we draw the Timberwolves, so that's going to be interesting. So we keep going to battle with them, but 28 from Jokic, 27 from Jamal Murray, 13.5 from Aaron Gordon, 11 from Mark Williams, and 9 rebounds. And almost a block off the bench. Sensabaugh with 11. And he shot 39% from 3. He is a steal, dude. I don't know why the Jazz waive him, but every time I can get him, I jump on it because he's a damn good player to pick up for as much as he's making. Christian Brown, 10 points as well. Also shot 31% from 3. Hopefully that goes up next year. But, all right, so let's go take a look to see if we can't advance past the Timberwolves this time around. Get some sweet revenge against them. Game 1 goes to us. Beat them by 3. Game 2 so far goes to us. We're up 3-0, and we will beat the Timberwolves this time. So just like that, we already have a much better record than, or I guess much better playoff performance than last year, because we went to 6 with Minnesota and dropped there. And now we get to play OKC, which is another obviously tough team out west. So let's see how this is going to play out. So Peyton Watson back in the starting 5, whatever they want to do. So game 1 goes to OKC. Game 2 goes to them. Okay, let's see if we need any minutes adjusted. Nope, okay. We got to win 2 straight to get back in it. And we will win game 3. And we will win game 4. Okay, so if we would have lost any of those, we would have been in trouble. But thankfully, we're back in it. We have a game 5 on our hands, and we're on the road in OKC, absolutely blowing them out right now. If we keep our foot on the pedal, we're going to go up 3-2 and go home in Denver. So 158-120. 45 from Julian Strother. Wow, what a freaking game that was for that guy. 6-14 from 3. Give me that in game 6, man, and we're going to the conference finals. I would love to see that again. I don't think we will, but shout out to him. So game 6 to close the Thunder out to avoid a game 7 at all costs. Looking good right now, and I think we will do it. So boom, 136-156, 27 from Jamal Murray, 23, 16, and 13 from Jokic. We're on to the conference finals to play Dallas, I presume. It is going to be Dallas. So Indiana and Cleveland on the other side. So the Mavericks have Clay, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Gafford, Kyrie Irving. So Dallas definitely has the size to deal with Nikola Jokic, so that could be tough, but we'll see how it goes. And maybe we eventually have a Mark Williams and Jokic on the floor together at times because of the size Dallas has. But all right, game 1 goes to us, 127-118. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And game 5 goes to us. We've made it to the NBA Finals the year after Mike Malone was fired. All right, well, let's see how this goes against the, is it Cavs or Cleveland? Or Cavs or Pacers? It's the Pacers. Halliburton and Jokic are your conference finals MVP. So the Indiana Pacers at this point have Nembhard, Halliburton, Mathurin, Siakam, Miles Turner, Toppin, Walker, Nesmith, Isaiah Jackson. So nothing really different about this Pacers team. It's the same thing. They've made it to the finals this time. Let's see if we can't get it done here and get Jokic another ring. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3, Indiana stood no chance. We just swept the Pacers and won a championship. So the Thunder were the team that gave us the toughest outing, and we took care of them. So just like that, we won a championship right after we traded Michael Porter. How did the Hornets do, by the way? They were in the play-in but dropped in the play-in tournament. How did Porter do for them? Let's see. So he started at the 3. He averaged 14 and 40. Okay, yep. That's what you'd expect out of Porter. All right, well, let's go to player retirement. So Brook Lopez, Love, Russell Westbrook, and Drew Holiday all call into career. So the Magic went after Russell Westbrook. Okay, I don't hate that. Spacing might be a little abysmal, but they do need a point guard. So let's go ahead and take a look at, oh, that Memphis. I just realized that Memphis pick. I don't know. Wait, is that from the trade I just got? I think it is. I think that pick we just got from the Porter trade is this one right here, if I'm not mistaken. And we end up with the 10th overall selection. So we pretty much fleeced. We really just fleeced the Hornets, honestly. I think that pick came from them just now. The Thunder get number 1 via Philly, and then we got Thunder via Utah, Rockets via Brooklyn. So already see 3 picks are incorrect. Spurs via Atlanta obviously is correct, and then the Thunder via Houston I think is correct. But whatever. So we go fix a few picks, but we have already won a championship in this video. So Alderman obviously deserves to stick around because we already won with him. So we're not going to fire him after he just won a head coach or won a championship. Now let's go fix these draft picks, and we get to pick at number 10 in this 2026 draft, which is awesome. Or we could trade it on draft night if we want to. So I don't think we're going to actually do a trade where we are just going to draft at number 10, because obviously having guys on rookie scale contracts in the new CBA is very valuable, especially if they can contribute while they're on that rookie contract. So let's see if we get anybody worth the value taken at number 10. So Caleb Wilson goes, Elijah Arenas goes, and Malik Thomas goes. So what do we have left for us? We have Darius, who's a backup point guard, which actually something we could use in the future. We have Jaden, Nate Ament. Okay, I don't hate that idea. Harrelson, Mikael Brown. So do we want a backup point guard, or do we want a backup 4 with 6'10 size? I think we'd rather take the versatile player, but Darius does have Hall of Fame ceiling. So I actually think I'm going to take Darius here. So welcome to Denver out of Arkansas. Darius to the Nuggets. So he's a 77 overall right away. So easily going to be a backup point guard out of the gate. Hunter Tyson will accept, and then Deron Holmes will accept. Sinzabal Strawther, all will be accepted. We have Mark Williams, Peyton Watson, and Christian Brown, all as free agents. So all guys we obviously want to bring back. Now, Mark Williams is going to be the tough one, because if he's demanding $40 million or something like that, it's going to be very tough to get to that with us paying Jokic. I don't want to pay that many centers, but Timberwolves obviously did it with Cat, Naz Reid, and Jokic. Or, sorry, Cat, Naz Reid, and Gobert. So Mark Williams asked for $32 million, and then Barnes we're not bringing back at this point. So, honestly, we drafted Darius, but we're going to bring back Brown. I low-key think we might be running it back with the same team, because I like what we have right now. It's just a matter of bringing these 3 important players back if we can. So we're going to try to wait them out, but I do have to acknowledge that offer sheets can come in, and we may have to put money on the table before I want to. But we're going to play a game and see. They're all restricted, right? Pretty sure. Yeah, they're all restricted. So, you know, take this to day 12. They become cheaper, and so far no one is throwing them offers. So this might play to our advantage. So let's go ahead and try to see if we can bring them back. So if we bring them in for whatever. So let's take a look at how much we're paying right now. So we have 163. We're probably, once we pay all 3 of these guys, we're going to be easily be over the second apron if I had to guess. So it's good that we had that draft pick to draft Darius. And then what's our cap holds looking like? So if I can, I always forget where it's at. It's right here. Boom. Okay. So cap holds. Okay. So okay, 21 million, it's about 30 million, give or take. All right, so let's go ahead and start to offer the contracts now. So Christian Brown for around 19.5 doesn't sound horrible. I don't hate that. Peyton Watson, less than 10 million would be great too. So we'll offer him that. And then Mark Williams, last but not least. Oh my gosh, dude. Please bring this down quite a bit. I can't give you 30 million. Let's say we did 22. Would you do 22.5 for 2 years, or do I have to bring that up just a tad bit? Let's go 25. What about that? Okay, we can get him for that. quite a bit of money, but we just won a championship with these 3 guys on the team. We're going to run it back with them. That probably puts us over the second apron again. So Aaron Gordon does regress. Mark Williams is up to an 86. Strother is up to an 82. Sensabaugh is up, and Peyton Watson is up. So I like it. We're going to try to go see if we can't go back-to-back. And if I do stop the deadline to make any type of move, I will show you. But obviously, Jamal Murray was very, very good for us last year. So I was considering trading him last offseason, but kind of saved himself here with how good he was. And we won a championship with him and Jokic. And those two obviously have a really nice chemistry. So I don't hate it anyway. So now let's load. I think I just loaded the wrong draft class, by the way. Yeah. No, I didn't. We're in 2026 still. Okay. We won a championship very fast, man. It's kind of throwing me off. It's not been like that for me lately. But all right. Let's go take a look at the rotation, even though it's going to look briefly the same. Guys developed a little bit more, but this might load a while, so I'll see you when we have the rotation up. Power Rank has this listed 15th overall, and proficiency is now up to a 4-star. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting 5. So it's Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Bryce Sensabaugh, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Mark Williams, Strother, Peyton Watson, and Darius. So the only thing that obviously has changed is that Darius is now in the rotation after we just drafted him. He obviously becomes an upgrade from Monte Morris. So I don't even think it was really playing for us last year, but still an upgrade nonetheless. So let's go ahead and simulate, year 3 at this point. We already won a championship in this video. And wow, we're off to a 8-0 start so far. So that's not going to continue. But I will see you guys at the end of year 3, and we'll go see if we can go back-to-back. And if we do go back-to-back, I might go for the 3-peat. Another MVP award goes to Nikola Jokic, another 29-point triple-double, almost 55, 84. I mean, Jokic is incredible. We're all very aware of that. Asa Newell goes most improved player for the Phoenix Suns, and then Fox is on the Jazz now, which is interesting. Okay. Knicks clutch player with Jalen Brunson. Jason Kidd is now the coach of the Cavs, and Murphy is your executive. So, Jokic wins All-NBA first team after getting the MVP, or he makes it All-NBA first team after he won the MVP, I should say. No All-NBA team for Jamal Murray this year, but it was really cool to see him on there last year. And then Jokic does make an all-offensive team again, and here's our all-rookie teams, as he has Darius make it, obviously, with 7 points off the bench and 40% from 3. So pretty good immediately for us. We are the 2nd seed out west, and here are your player stats. You had 29 from Jokic, 25 from Murray, 15 for Bryce Sensabaugh, so he's becoming a great addition. Obviously, he needs a new contract this offseason, so who knows what that's going to cost us. He just shot almost 50, 40, 90, which is wild. Aaron Gordon, 12 points. And then Mark Williams with 12 from Strother, who also needs a new contract. So this team is about to get very, very expensive very, very fast. But we got the Clippers in round 2. So thankfully, we won a championship in this video. Or sorry, Clippers in round 1. But it's a very regressed Kawhi Leonard, and Ben Simmons is still starting to this day. So if we lose to them, I'd obviously be devastated. So hopefully we do not. And we beat them in 5. Okay, now we can play the Thunder, who did have the #1 overall pick via the 76ers. So they drafted AJ DeBanza, which makes them that much scarier. But let's see how it goes. So game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. 169-166 is a crazy playoff score, by the way. We're down 2-1. And the Thunder with AJ DeBanza coming off the bench probably has given us quite a bit of trouble, if I had to guess. Let's see if we can't get back in this series. And Thunder are the team that gave us the most trouble last year, technically. So it doesn't surprise me that they're going to beat us this time. So 120-118. It's a good thing we at least got one title out of it, though. Cavaliers, Timberwolves, and the Cavs going to win the championship. Garland is your finals MVP. I'm going to run for one more season, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is headed anywhere. I think the Thunder are going to have this Western Conference locked up now with Shea, Jalen Williams, AJ DeBanza, Chet. Like, that's going to be very hard to stop. But we're going to at least try. So Memphis, #1, Rockets via Phoenix. Obviously, our pick is nowhere to be found. It goes to Thunder this time. I think that's from, like, when the Denver Nuggets made, like, a trade for a bunch of seconds. I guess we can fire David Adelman and see if a new head coach would do us any justice. So give me, like, not Doc Rivers, sorry. Give me Tyronn Lue to, coach Jokic up. So let's do Tyronn Lue for a year, see how that goes. And we're not going 3-peat, but we can still try to win 2 in this video. Darius might develop a little bit, too, which would be helpful. Let's go to player options. We have no draft pick. The Jokic declines, which is pretty scary, honestly, to think about. And then Sensabaugh, Strother, and then, yeah. We're going to spend a lot of money this offseason, obviously. So, Jokic has no legitimate offers so far, so let's just give him a 5-year deal, and he will sign that. No-brainer. Sensabaugh, it doesn't say we actually have his bird rights, so don't know what's going to happen there. And Strother wants a ton of money. Do we have... Is he restricted at least? That's what I'm hoping to see, because I want to bring everybody back again. Ryan Sensabaugh is restricted. So I probably have to let these guys come back on their qualifying offers low-key. because it's going to be very hard to pay anybody. So as far as making another addition, that probably isn't going to happen. Our main thing, we're hoping, okay, so we can match Bryce's $14 million at the end here, which we will. Schroeder's back. So the one thing that I said that could happen was Darius. Yeah, so he does go up to an 83 overall. It's exciting. He might even push Jamal Murray out of the starting lineup, potentially. But I mean, he averaged 25 last year. But Darius might have a bigger role this year, so that'll be fun. But we're probably going to run one more season here. Like I said, we'll see if we can win a second championship in this video. We already got one, so we're like, there's no pressure to win a second one, but obviously it would be great to get Jokic a third championship if we can. Well, one thing that's not stopping this video is that Jokic just keeps racking up those MVP awards, and Tyronn Lue does get us a Coach of the Year finish, and Executive does go to Timmy Fisher as well. So Jokic on be first team. We see Murray on here again. No, we do not, unfortunately. So I assume Darius might have taken away from him a little bit. So we are the first seed in the West, which is good. But Darius, what did he do this season? Averaged 12.5 off the bench. So he's just a really good bench point guard, obviously. So our bench is very strong, which is good. 27 from Jokic. Jamal Murray has taken a step back, not averaging 25 anymore, but I assume that's because you're getting a lot of contributions from your bench. Guys like Darius and Sensabaugh, who's not coming off the bench necessarily, but still adding quite a bit here. So, can we go for a second championship in this video and get Jokic's third ring of his career? We get the Blazers, which they have Arenas, Denny Avdia, Donnie Freeman, Klingon, Simons, Ayton, and Liam McNeely. So, let's see how this is about to shake out. So, somebody come around against Portland, and we will sweep them. So off to a good start. I'm hoping to see the Thunder in the conference finals because it would give us a good litmus test to see if we're better than them. And we beat, oh, it's the Timberwolves actually. So for a third time in this video, we get Minnesota. We only beat them last year, but they beat us earlier. So we actually went to 7 with the Pelicans, by the way. I kind of just glossed over them disrespectfully, but I was like so focused on the Thunder and I just didn't even think about it. But it's Minnesota, which is cool too. Let's, oh, Darius gets the start. Okay, game 1 goes to us. We swept Timberwolves earlier, and they're going to even it up, aren't they? Nope, 3-1. And game 6. Let's go, we won. Okay, so we don't have to worry about a game 7. We get Cleveland. This could be a second championship in this video, and Jamal Murray's back in the lineup. Game 1, game 2, game 3 goes to them. Game 4, okay. We win in 5? No. Game 6, let's simcast it. Game 6 in Cleveland. To avoid a game 7, or do we have to simcast a game 7? Wait, it's a back and forth so far. We have the lead right now. They take it back. We take it back, and we will win 110 and 105. So there's 2 championships in this video. Jokic gets 3 for his career, and he got a ton of MVP awards on top of that. But this was a fun rebuild, man. I'm excited. This gets me super excited for the offseason rebuild series, man. Realism is my favorite type of content, just because I try to I don't know. I think it's everyone's favorite anyway. It seems like it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. But can't wait till next week when the season's over so I can start those up. Have a ton of fun with those. But see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.